Yes, children, let us see the concept again. Okay, now I was telling you about fission of a covalent bond. Now, fission of a covalent bond is of two types, homolytic and heterolytic fission. Homolytic is taking place in non-polar molecules and heterolytic takes place in polar molecules. Hetero means the bond between unlike atoms is broken. Lysis means breaking. Okay, so the lysis is taking place between unlike atoms is hetero, and between like atoms, lysis between like atoms is homolytic. Okay, so if the bond is broken between two hydrogen atoms or two chlorine atoms, then it is all called as homolytic, and if it is between two unlike atoms, then it is called heterolytic. Now, homolytic fission gives rise to free radicals. Now, what are free radicals? Now, you know very well that a pair of electrons is shared between the two hydrogen atoms. Now, when this is breaking, what happens? This electron moves towards this hydrogen and this electron moves towards this hydrogen. Now, this kind of a half-headed arrow is called as fish arrow. Okay. So, this electron goes to this and this electron goes to this, and you have two hydrogen free radicals. So, what are free radicals? Free radicals are basically atoms having one unshared electron or odd electron. They are called as free radicals. Okay, and these free radicals are neutral species. You know very well that hydrogen is having only one electron and one proton. Okay, and it's a neutral atom, right? So free radical are also neutral species. Now, when you say non-polar, they are between like atoms, but in certain cases, like in the case of HBr, the electronegative character of hydrogen and Br is almost same. So, though they are two different atoms, when there is fission between this hydrogen and Br, it is considered to be homolytic, and HBr, it undergoes cleavage to give you free radicals, hydrogen free radical and bromine free radical. Okay. Now, down the group, you know very well electronegativity decreases, and the electronegativity of bromine is almost same as that of hydrogen. So, in the case of HBr, you can consider this to be homolytic in spite of the fact that they are unlike atoms. Okay. Now, heterolytic fission gives rise to ions because one atom is more electronegative than the other. So, what it will do, this pair of electron which is shared between the two atoms, it is going towards the more electronegative atom. So, the two electrons will shift towards chlorine, leading to Cl minus, and this hydrogen will be left as H plus. So, two oppositely charged ions are formed, and that is the result of heterolytic fission. Okay. Now, once you understand this, let us try to understand what are electrophiles and nucleophiles. Now, electrophiles are positively charged species, or they are electrically neutral species. Okay. Now, electrophiles. Phile means attraction. Electrophiles means attraction is for electrons. If the attraction is for electrons, खुद के पास क्या होना चाहिए? Positive charge होना चाहिए, तभी negative charge की तरफ attract होगा. So, electrophiles are positively charged species, or they may also be electrically neutral. Now, we'll see how, right? So, electrophiles are electron-loving species. Now, positively charged species, when you say all these are positively charged and they are all electrophiles. H plus, Cl plus, Br plus, NO2 positive, NO positive, R positive. R positive is called as alkyl cation, or it is also called as carbonium ion, or you may also call it as carbocation. You can call it like this also. So, this is methyl carbocation, this is ethyl carbocation. Now, when you come to neutral species also acting as electrophiles, you will find SO3, BF3, AlCl3, FeCl3, all these are neutral species behaving as electrophiles. Now, I will give you a few explanations. Say in the case of BF3, you know very well that the central boron is having only 6 electrons, right? So, its octet is not complete. So, it is an electron deficient species. So, electron deficient species are considered as electrophiles. Same way AlCl3. In the case of Al also, the number of electrons surrounding Al is only 6 after sharing. It's having 3, it will share 3 with chlorine. So a total of 6 electrons will be there around aluminium. So this is also an electron deficient species. You have studied in equilibrium chapter also that they are electron deficient species. Same way in the case of FeCl3 or SnCl4, it is the same way. Now apart from that, R dot, the alkyl free radical, is considered an electrophile. Same way, C with a pair of electron with 2 R, that is C के साथ 2 R ग्रुप है, alkyl ग्रुप है, तो ये 1 2 3 4 हो गए plus 2 electrons. So there are 6 electrons only. They are called as carbenes. Okay, they are also electrophiles because it is short of 2 electrons, right? Same way, R dot is also short of 1 electron, so that is also considered as an electrophile. Okay, now you also need to know that not all positively charged species are electrophiles, like sodium plus or Ca2 plus. They have octet configuration, isn't it? After losing an electron, sodium plus will have octet configuration. Same way, after losing 2 electrons, Ca2 plus will also have octet. So they are not considered as electrophiles because they have octet configuration. So you cannot blindly consider that all positively charged species are electrophiles. You have to understand the concept. Okay. Now let us see what are nucleophiles. Now nucleophiles are negatively charged species. So they have love for nucleus. Okay. Nucleophiles. Phile means attraction. Nucleus means positively charged. So the love is for positive charge. Okay. So nucleus loving species, they are called as nucleophiles. Now again here also you have both negative nucleophiles as well as neutral nucleophiles. Negative nucleophiles means you have hydride ion, chloride, bromide, iodide, then R minus. Like R plus you call it as carbonium ion, R minus is called as carbanion. Okay, and then Rc, triple bond C negative. You know very well that CH, triple bond CH. This is ethine, is it not? Now here hydrogen is replaced by R group. So you have, this is an alkynide ion. Okay. So C minus, hydrogen chala gaya, तो यहाँ पे negative charge आ गया. Now here, why negative charge is coming on C? Because this is a triple bonded carbon. Triple bonded carbon is sp hybridized UNOID, and sp hybrid carbon is more electronegative than sp2 carbon, more electronegative than sp3 carbon. Okay, because s character इसमें ज़्यादा है, इसमें 50-50 proportion है, इसमें 33-66 proportion है, इसमें 25-75 proportion है, तो इसमें least s character है, तो ये least electronegative है, इसमें 50% s character है, इसमें ये most electronegative है. ठीक है, that is why it is possessing a negative charge. Then all these negatively charged species, they are all nucleophiles. Now neutral nucleophiles, when you consider a species which is having lone pair of electrons in any one of the atoms, then they are considered nucleophiles. NH3, RNH2, ROH. Now 2 lone pairs are there, 1 lone pair, 1 lone pair, 2 lone pairs. They are all considered as nucleophiles. So electron rich species you can consider, or neutral molecules possessing lone pair of electrons on any one atom, they are considered nucleophiles, right? Okay. Now let us see how the shift of electron is taking place in various molecules. Now let us see this. CH3S, CH3. Now here you are having carbon. CH3, though you write, what is this? It is basically like this. Right? It is like this. Now it is carbon attached to sulfur. You know very well that sulfur and carbon, they also have almost same electronegative character. But since sulfur is bigger in size, it can accommodate the electron density towards itself much better than carbon. Because of small size, अगर ये यहाँ पे shift होता, then interelectronic repulsions की वजह से stability affect होगा. So the pair of electron is shifting towards sulfur being bigger in size. So the sulfur can disperse the negative charge easily. So what you get out of it? You get CH3 positive and S minus CH3. Okay. So when this bond is shifting here, the pair of electron is going to create a charge on sulfur. So you get S minus CH3 and this carbon will be left with a positive charge because इसकी कार्बन के इलेक्ट्रॉन S के ऊपर चला गया. ठीक है. तो ये S का एक अपना इलेक्ट्रॉन है, ये कार्बन से लिया हुआ इलेक्ट्रॉन है. So one electron is being gained, so S is having one negative charge. Now if you consider this species, then again this is also C, this is also C. Now you may ask me why this is shifting here, why can't it shift there? That is because this is followed by an electronegative nitrogen. So the shift of electron pair is towards carbon, which is holding on to a more negative electronegative atom. So you'll get CH3 positive and Cn negative. So these are heterolytic fissions. Same way in the case of CH3Cu. Now carbon is more electronegative than copper. Copper is a metal, right? So the pair of electron is shifting towards carbon, leading to CH3 minus plus Cu plus. Okay? Because Cu is more electropositive. That is why the electron pair is shifting towards carbon, which is more electronegative. Now, supposing you are given these things and you are asked to identify which is an electrophile, which is a nucleophile. Now all negatively charged species, they are obviously nucleophiles. So this is a nucleophile, this is a nucleophile, then this is a nucleophile, right? But apart from this, this is also a nucleophile. Why? Because a lone pair of electron is there on nitrogen. Again, there is already a negative charge here. Why there is a negative charge here? Just see. Nitrogen, it is having 2 hydrogen atoms and a lone pair, right? So actually nitrogen is having only 3 electrons around it, right? But it is having 4. 1, 2 with what it is sharing, okay? अपने surrounding में 4 electron है. So there is 1 extra electron around nitrogen. That is why a negative charge is there. Okay? So this is a nucleophile. Now BF3 is an electrophile because central boron is having only 6 electrons. Then Cl plus positively charged species, so this is also an electrophile. Then here C is holding on a positive charge on it, so this is also electrophile. Then NO2 positive is also an electrophile. So you can easily identify which are electrophiles and which are nucleophiles. Okay. Now remember, electrophiles, they can gain a pair of electrons, and nucleophiles, they can donate a pair of electrons. So electrophiles can also be called as loose acids and nucleophiles are called as loose bases, right? Okay.